This is Tom Dillon, the Lifetime Liberal, and today is Saturday, March 23rd, 2024. The title of this rant is "The Right-Wingers on the Supreme Court and Their Enablers Are a Criminal Cabal." So this week, or next week, there's going to be another Supreme Court hearing in reference to misoprostol, which is an abortion drug. To get it off the market, it has a good chance of succeeding. But let's just take a look at the fact that the deep state supporting the Supreme Court in all of these decisions have been based on a 50-year trajectory of bringing and continuing to have white Christian men at the top of the economic chain and fucking everybody else out. So we have the Powell Memorandum in 1973 to bring business back to the top, to cut taxes, who cares about environmental regulations, etc. Roe versus Wade came out at the same time. And the Supreme Court has gotten more and more conservative. We have all six of the Supreme Court's conservative justices, maybe not Thomas because he came in earlier, but 5 specifically said that they thought Roe was settled law and they were not going to revisit it. And of course, when the right opportunity came, they revisited it. And this all has to do with a deep state of lawyers, media people, scientists, linguistics, Christian nationalists, Christian Pentecostals, etc., trying to enact laws to make them go through the court system so as a very conservative Supreme Court will work in their favor. So we have 6 extremely, and I mean extremely conservative justices on the Supreme Court. All of them were chosen for their politics. They were not chosen for their jurisprudence. And that is what is going on right now. So not only do we have the Roe versus Wade, the Dobbs decision, which overturned Roe versus Wade, basically giving the FU to women, to FU to women's rights, and to FU to women's bodily autonomy. Then they're going to have the misoprostol hearing this week. That could go bad. And of course, Democrats said for 40 years, hey, they're coming after Roe versus Wade. People said no. They had targeted restriction of abortion providers, trap laws to restrict abortions by making the hallways of places where they would be performed have to be so wide, privileges for doctors, etc. So this has been long. It's been thought out. They've tried it. They've tested, and they're going after more. So not only do we have the Dobbs decision, which is overturned, we have the misoprostol case that's just coming up. We have the IVF that was going on down in Alabama just the other day. Clarence Timon said that he would be willing to look back at the gay marriage thing, which passed from the Supreme Court in, I think, 2015. He'd be willing to revisit that. They're going to go after birth control, and they're going to go after, just as another aside, no-fault divorce. And let's just be clear that this deep state, the Federalist Society is the one that's it now, very strong, very right-wing Christian, lots and lots of money, willing to take the time and effort to bring these laws up, knowing that as they go through the courts, they're going to get it, have been looking at the right jurists to bring to the Supreme Court for years and years and years. And they are not going to stop. And this is going to continue. And of course, as I always say, the best thing that we can do is right now, as we're coming up, we need to vote for Joe and we need to elect liberal Democrats because, as I said, the Supreme Court right now with a 6-3 majority will go after all of the things that I just mentioned. And these restrictions are basically for all women, people of color, and the poor to keep white Christian men on top.